Alright. How's everybody doing today? It's Sandwich Pants here, and I wanted to go over some stuff, talk about some things that seem to have started popping back up that I don't know why. So, I just got home from work about maybe 15 minutes ago, and so, yeah, I still got the hat and sunglasses because I gotta pull my hair back and put it behind underneath the hat because I go to restaurants and stuff. You can tell there's actually two hats here if you look close, but usually with how it sits, it looks just like one hat. I'm actually rocked out today. See, I got the black jeans on with the Marvin the Martian socks, with some black shoes, a blue shirt, a black and blue hat. Actually got my stuff going today. Anyways, what I've seen been popping up more and more recently are people that I call tankies, the populist left. I'm not the only one who calls them tankies, to be fair. And the discourse around the Duma Syrian chlorine gas attacks in 2018. I'm not entirely sure why that, well, any of these seem to pop up, but they do. So we're going to be talking about them. And as I had put here, the first one on the list at the 10-minute mark are actually what are tankies. We're going to put that actually at the 5-minute mark. And there we go. So we got a very small amount of time. Let me get this thing started. But once the 5-minute mark rolls around, yeah, we will start talking about the tankies. So what are tankies? Tankies are a group of people who are they say that they're leftists. I have some contentions with that, but I'm not going to completely deny that they have some left wing values. However, Tankies are people who they look into the Marxist Leninist ideology, which inherently isn't bad. Like there can be people who claim to be Marxist Leninists. Uh, oh God, yeah, they claim they say that they're Marxist Leninists. But the problem is they misinterpret Lenin and pretty much every theorist that they read. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them do read theory, but when I see their interpretations of that theory, it makes me wonder how they came to the conclusions they did. So, what are some defining characteristics? Well, for the most part, look at any authoritarian government around the world, and you can pretty much find them defending it. They're defending Putin, and they defend Stalin, they defend Mao, they defend everything that's happened in the DPRK, also known as North Korea, for those of you who don't know that one. Uh, they they stand Ho Chi Minh hella hard, which, I mean, to be fair, Ho Chi Minh is somebody that I actually haven't read yet, even though I've read all theories. I haven't touched Ho Chi Minh. Not because, I'm not interested, but because I just haven't gotten to it. I moved over into Malatesta, Bakun, and Kropotkin, uh, very small amounts of Proudhon. I need to get more Proudhon in there. Uh, but anyways, you can essentially look at that, and they also are very very big fans of certain YouTubers. Like, a lot of them are on the populist left, which is another section in here. And also, the people like Caleb Moffin. They read news sources like Russia Today, RT, um, Gray Zone. They rely very heavily on Glenn Greenwald now, who is a fucking hack. Used to be a really good journalist, and then all of a sudden he turned around and was saying a bunch of absolutely ridiculous shit and called Tucker Carlson a socialist. So I don't know what the hell's going on in that brain. But as it stands, the tanky community definitely are an interesting group. Another characteristic is they're prone to a hiding behind liberal id poll. They will hide behind identity politics all day. The Twitter anime profile pic is semi-common amongst them, and just throwing out terms willy-nilly like colonizer, uh, calling some like random people social fascists and shit like that because they don't understand the arguments from the theory that they read. They just read the theory, they treat it like a religious text. Not something you can do. I mean, let's face it, theory was made to be interpreted, it was made to evolve. Marx wrote his theories about dialectical materialism, which is an ever evolving set of material conditions between the bourgeois and the proletariat. So we cannot ever look at any theory, read the arguments put forth, and go, we need to do exactly the prescriptions laid out by Lenin, Stalin, Trotsky, Marx, Engels, Luxemburg, Angela Davis, like name a theorist. I consider Angela Davis kind of more of an advocate, but I mean she's an inspiration for me. So Thomas Sankara, anything, name them, and you name any lefty, you know, socialist in name leader, somebody who says that they're a socialist and they ran things, excluding people like Hitler, who were very obviously more capitalist than socialist, and that's why he killed the Strasserrites. But that's a very common characteristic that they seem to share. I don't know why. Uh, so we have to ask ourselves a few things with the characteristics laid out, with the knowledge that they misinterpret pretty much every theory that they've ever come across. Uh, you have to ask, are tankies a problem? And the answer to that is, in quite a few ways, yes. And in some ways, not really. Like, it's a very nuanced position, I know. And there's going to be some people who might not completely agree with this take. There may be some people who vehemently disagree, but hopefully you hear me out and you understand. I can create polls now? Okay, sorry, that completely blew my train of thought. Okay, so the ways that tankies are a problem. Optics. They are so fucking bad with optics. When you go around and you essentially say things like anyone who doesn't agree completely with my mode of communism is abetting fascists, and fascists get the wall, aka they get to be killed. Um, that is that is optically very bad. It's also something that I disagree with. I don't think that if you oppose their methods, that makes you a fascist sympathizer. Not at all. but also their bullheadedness. Because even if you showed them where they have misinterpreted something, like obviously so, because the author clarifies later that they meant something different, they will stick to it. See, when it's ambiguous, I can understand that, but when the author's like, "Hey, like this is the thing, and we should probably consider that these sets of circumstances that weren't previously considered, and change our opinion thusly," and they go, "Well, he wrote this and this before that was ever written, and so I'm going to stick with this." That's bullheadedness. It's asinine. It is counterproductive to literally everything, like everything. God, is okay. Is this group chat or yeah, it's group chat. Okay. Hmm. Anyways, they're utter misinterpretations of theory. That's also a problem because in some ways they get some things right, but they also misinterpret so much that I don't think it's really worth it. Their another optics thing and something that I also find kind of gross is their glorification of brutal dictators. Like I said previously, they like Putin, they like uh, Mao, and currently Xi Jinping. They deny genocides like what's happening in Xinjiang with the Uyghurs. They A lot of them just don't think human rights are a thing that are real. Just so many different ways that they're just optically bad, and also their morals are bad because I mean, if you deny human rights, the human right to freedom is what Marxism was primarily about. I mean, come on. Uh, yeah, that's the main ways that I think the Marxist Leninist crowd that you'll come across primarily, mostly online, the Tankies. They call themselves Marxist Leninists a lot of the time, but then they turn around and they say a lot of the just worst kind of shit. Um, there are Marxist Leninists that you can come across that are perfectly fine people that you can agree with on a lot of stuff. Um, I disagree with like a lot of the interpretations of vanguardism being like meant to lead the stupid proles to show them the ways of communism or whatever, but they're supposed to be like a guiding force, which I appreciate. Like they're not supposed to like lead people, but they're supposed to help awaken class consciousness in people and beat people out on the front lines, guarding and helping and teaching. That's the main thing that the vanguard is supposed to do. Like if you're imagining, I want to be part of the vanguard so I can lead the revolution to secure state power for the proletariat. For one, you've misinterpreted theory, and for two, you have a really fucked up sense of why the vanguard exists. Now, where could they be helpful at doing exactly what the vanguard is supposed to do? Because they do read theory, they can like the most baseline shit for Marx and instilling if they don't have their head up their ass, instilling basic levels of class consciousness in people is something that they can be really good at sometimes. Now, when they get head up ass and they start, not thinking about how to meet the person they're talking to at their level of radicalization, and they just go off on screeds about, guillotining capitalists or whatever, that they are terrible at it. But if you come across people who are actually able to tell where people are at on the political scale, at least somewhat, then at that point they reach out, they talk to them, they try and move them up. They can be really effective at it. They're also pretty effective. Let me be honest. at organizing mutual aid efforts, at least online that I've seen. Like a decent number of tankies that I've seen do have a pretty okay outreach mutual aid program where they are getting funds, moved over to different people who need them. They're constantly like sharing mutual aid uh, posts about donating people in need and shit like that. Just helping people out. It's great. They're pretty good at that. So I have two compliments for the tankies and a ton of criticisms. This does not mean I oppose Marxism. This does not mean that I hate the people who call themselves tankies. Now, I'll hyperbolically scream about how I hate tankies and stuff, but really, I just am frustrated with them, their behavior, and their bad optics. So, that's the main thing that I've got. Uh, Constantly changing the timestamps in the stream. I still got about a minute and 15 seconds to talk about this. Um, it what it comes down to is that the people who are apologists for a bunch of the most horrible shit that you could really think of, they do have principally some Marxist ideals. I I really can't deny it because they do want like state power into the hands of the workers. However, this is a misunderstanding of the writings about it because Marx says that you have to smash the state and reconstitute a worker state, which is different than a state as is defined by political science. So essentially, there's a lot of misunderstanding that we need to help them get over, and I think they will be much better advocates. But they understand, some of them don't think a transitional state is necessary, which is where they differ from Lenin and Marx and even Stalin. But they're not the enemy, 100%. They're pulling generally in the same direction, and about 100 and about a quarter mile down the road, they're pulling off in some weird direction. But they're not they're not fully the enemy. Like, but they will often. Oh, another thing that I have a criticism for: stop working with the fucking fascists. Stop allying with them against the anarchists. Like, why? Oh, and another thing, as I saw today, uh, it was very heavily liked by a Marxist-Leninist community, the Takey community. They said, if a libertarian socialist, aka Fed, tries to join in on the anarchist and communist revolution, and it's a picture of somebody holding a gun over somebody else, insinuating they're going to kill them. Um, this person is ignorant enough about political theory, but confident enough in their knowledge of political theory to make this meme, not knowing that libertarian socialist is a euphemism for anarchist. Libertarian is a term used for anarchist, and to be a libertarian in the original sense, before it was co-opted by anarcho-capitalists. But in the original sense of libertarian, it was used by an anarchist to describe his beliefs, and he was a libertarian socialist. Because to be an anarchist, one must first be a socialist. That that is something that I firmly believe, and a lot of anarchist theorists believe. Oh, we're 22 minutes. Okay, so we have the populist left. Tankies are a small problem, not a huge one, but when it comes right down to it, we have another problem that plagues the left. What is that problem? Well, it's the populist left. Because the term, now not all of them are bad. Kyle Kalinske has some really good foreign policy takes sometimes. He's bought into the false, the leaked report whistleblower thing, but nobody's actually fucking read it when they buy into it. They just hear whistleblower and they're like, "Ah." So I don't know. But overall, the populist left that I've come across are people like fucking Jimmy Dore, who is willing to reach across and work with a white nationalist fascist like Tucker Carlson, who interviews Boogaloo Boys and gets duped by them. Like, come on, dude. There's more than that, but we've got the populist left, which includes people who consider themselves some people who consider themselves socialists and people who don't consider themselves socialists. So they're called the populist left, even if they're capitalist, which is odd to me. Which Jimmy Dore is, and Cenk Uygur is also a capitalist, and I don't think he gets called populist though. He postures as a populist, but he's not. But when one of the most prominent figures in your group is Jimmy fucking Dore, who has a lot of terrible takes, and I consistently see people who consider themselves populist left giving terrible fucking takes and defending bullshit constantly. Come on. Jimmy straight up said that he was going to vote for the destruction of the Republican Party in 2016. And he had previously said in that debate against Sam Cedar, in which he was wrong on fucking everything, he had previously said, and I quote, I agree with Chris Hayes and some other guy, I don't remember that name, not important, that Trump will be bad and be for the Republican Party and be the destruction of the conservative movement, and Hillary will be good for them and bad for the Democrats. That's something that he said. And then he said, I'm going to vote for the destruction of the Republican Party, which, think about it for a second, I'm going to vote for the destruction of the Republican Party. I agree with Chris Hayes that Trump would lead to the destruction of the Republican Party. 1 plus 1 equals vote for Trump. And when your political analysis boils down to Democrats bad because corporate donors, Republicans bad because corporate donors, so let's focus on the Democrats and just criticizing them constantly, when it leads to bad faith actors who are willing to fucking drop Medicare for all when the candidate that they like drops Medicare for all for a public option, and then when that candidate loses, turn around and weaponize Medicare for all against actual fucking progressives, specifically the women of color. Not that I mean that's bad enough that he's weaponizing it, and then he specifically targets the women of color. Yeah, come on. Like that's who he truly focuses on. It's very specifically AOC when it comes to the Medicare for all thing. He's taken this as a bludgeon against her specifically, and kind of swung around at the progressives in general, but has gone after her very much specifically. If anyone steps in the way, then swings at them. But why would he do this? Why would Jimmy Dore feel the need to weaponize something that he dropped. This doesn't make any sense to me. Well, okay, it does. From if you think about it from an actual progressive standpoint, it doesn't make sense. But if you think about it from the standpoint of he's just trying to build his brand and he doesn't actually give a fuck, he will posture super aggressively. But he lacks so much political analysis. Kyle not as much. Like Kyle actually has some really good analysis of events and shit. Why I'm subscribed to secular talk still. I'm much further left than Kyle. I will disagree with some of his solutions and takes and stuff, but hearing him out, I'm never well. Okay, I can't say never, but I'm usually like, okay, I see where you're coming from. That's not a horrible take. Now, when it comes to protectionist policies and shit that he talks about, nah, nah, fuck you, bro. Internationalism, not protectionism. Cooperation. It's it's not even the fact that they want workers' rights. Like that's the thing that I agree with. Although Jimmy Dore postures with workers, but what does he actually do? Like what does he actually do? So because I'm criticizing Jimmy, especially asking what he does. If you come across and you're on Twitter, you come across any mutual aid links, send them my way, and I will put them back out. If I have any excess money ever, then I generally try and put a little bit towards it, even if it's not much. That's what I try and do. It's not always something that I can make work, but seriously, do the mutual aid links. Donate if you can. Send them around. Now, are the populist left good for things? I'll do the same structure as I did with the Tankies. And yes, because I'm not an idiot, I can recognize. Actually, I am. Let's be fair. I'm not an idiot, but I am a little dumb. But I can recognize absolutely that the populist left is good for a lot of things because when they're advocating for workers' rights, they're usually advocating for stronger union participation, higher wages, and stuff like that. And it really gets people thinking, like, hey, why aren't I getting paid more? The minimum wage isn't keeping track with productivity. I am struggling more. I am having these issues. That is a thing that I will agree with them on. So see, I have agreements with a lot of different sects of the left where I otherwise have broad disagreement. But raising minimum wage, yeah, I'm for it. Now, how do we do it? Let's discuss the strategy. If your strategy is bad, I'm going to let you know. I think your strategy is bad. Here's why. Like with the original force the vote, there just wasn't it just wasn't a thing. It wasn't going to happen. Mold all you want. Not a thing. Okay? Heathen cope. Don't care. But with, say, infrastructure, yeah, it'll work. This would actually be a thing that works. Go ahead and just put that here because this entire thread is, or this entire stream is going to be reading stuff. Just so you know. I mean, just as a sneak peek. 65 pages. We can go over stuff. 82 pages. WikiLeaks to go over their shit. So, we've got reading to do. Later. We'll get to it. But, as it sits, I can work with the populist left. I can talk to Kyle Kalinske. I mean, I can't, like, actually right now, but theoretically, I could talk to Kyle Kalinske and work on strategy and try and come up with, like, solution for a problem. Minimum wage, increase worker unionship, whatever it is. Now, the PRO Act is actually a huge thing, so that's a give Biden credit kind of moment. Let's face it. If you don't know what the PRO Act, look into it. It like strengthens collective bargaining and shit. It's actually fucking based. But Jimmy Dore doesn't give credit to Biden. He doesn't. He doesn't feel like he needs to give credit to Biden. Yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. And that's the sad part because, Biden hasn't done literally all the bad in the world. He's done bad. He's done some good. The PRO Act is pretty fucking based. He's trying to get through a $15 an hour minimum wage bill that's a standalone bill. Like, he's trying to get that formulated and into the Senate, into the House. There's other shit. I don't see anything about a fucking public option though. He lied there. He told us he was gonna go for a public option, but he fucking didn't. Anyways, that's about my deal with them. Uh, you know, the let's go ahead and just maneuver over. We're gonna get over to the Syrian stuff at this point. I think I kind of laid out my issues with the populist left and the Tankies, but also where I have agreements with them. So not not all bad. I'm not a complete hack. Hey. So let's get started with some backstory. In 2018, there was rebel-controlled city Douma in Syria, and the story goes that in April, I believe it was, that a couple of helicopters, while the city was being bombarded, some helicopters flew overhead of a couple of buildings and dropped cyanide canisters in, or not cyanide, chlorine gas canisters into a couple of apartments. Like multiple story apartments. Now, I'm gonna I'll tell you that I'm cheating. As it sits, I've read these. And I've heard people go over them. I've heard summaries of them. It does not state who was responsible outright. It doesn't like heavily imply. It just lays out facts. We go to page 45. Light of its mandate to identify the perpetrators of the use of chemical weapons in the Syrian Arab Republic by identifying and reporting on all information potentially relevant to the origin of those chemical weapons and the incident under consideration. The IIT concludes that there are reasonable grounds to believe that at approximately, oh, it was February 4th, okay, at 9:22 p.m., February 4th, 2018, during ongoing attacks against Sarakib, I think, a military helicopter of the Syrian Arab Air Force under control of the Tiger forces hit eastern Sarakib by dropping at least one cylinder. The cylinder ruptured and released a toxic gas, chlorine, which dispersed over a large area, affecting 12 named individuals. That is the summary of the factual findings. This entire document goes over things: timelines, pictures, stuff like that. Stuff that I probably can't really show on stream, just to be completely honest. I can start dumping links into chat. There you go. Now, there is a conspiracy theory. I'm not going to mince words here. There's a conspiracy theory that is perpetuated by places like the Gray Zone, Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate. I'm pretty sure Caleb Maupin is involved in this one. Uh, Jimmy Dore, even Kyle Kalinske. That because of a whistleblower, I'll get to that. That the whole thing was staged. Some people say it was staged. Yeah, actually, no. They just generally say it's staged. Their evidence for this are leaked documents to WikiLeaks, which we all know just releases the whole story. Even that, like, there's emails that WikiLeaks didn't release that were released later by Bellingcat that shows why all of this happened. See, this correctly redacted emails, retoxicology. So they released a minute's like a minute by minute readout of the toxicology report. Like they just as they documented everything. They actually were confused as to why people would engage in the behavior they engaged in if they were out, if they had like clear open pathways and stuff. And it was really bad. And they rely on a uh, personal document by Ian Henderson, who was not considered part of the fact finding team by the OPCW, and a by the person who leaked it, a report, a draft report that this person did without full access to all the information that became available. That was actually addressed in this report. So I pulled up all of this stuff, and I've gone over it before. I went over it yesterday, actually. And considering they address all of the issues, Okay, so this is for, yeah, this was in 2020. Addressing the threat from chemical weapon use in a different area in Syria. So it's not like this is an unknown thing. The OPCW has there's been 37 documented cases, including this one. So it's not unusual for Assad to use chemical weapons on citizens. And they don't really have any arguments. You can go and listen to, I'll just do it off of this one because I don't care. Right here, the full audio. And you'll get it from Vosh's perspective, mostly so that you can hear A, what's being said, because I don't trust his side of things, and B, he's still naming it. Yeah, he's still trying to get clicks off of it. 14K views, but only 23. See, look at that kind of cult-like behavior. 23.1K subscribers. Jeez. What do I got? Yeah, see, Vosh 3 minutes ago back from vacation, and I bet you there's gonna be a pile of people going in. So you can hear the echo that Vosh talks about in the debate whenever he mentions it. He's got an aftermath. His aftermath is shorter, I guess. He's probably just all giddy that Vosh quit talking to him because he's a child. But yeah, if you want all these links, this one's actually not relevant because this one's for a different. Actually, no, it is relevant because it's proof that other chemical weapons attacks have happened that have been investigated. But yeah, here. That's the debate because he goes over and just breaks apart everything. Yeah, see here.
Okay, so Bashar al-Assad is a brutal, tyrannical, far-right dictator. And he has, over the course of the Syrian civil war, engaged in many acts of barbarity against his own population, both political and military. Which
And
you
then
say they say? You just provided me like links to WikiLeaks articles.
So
see proof of the echo. Jackson Hinkle denies the echo exists because he can't hear it on his side, and his chat can't hear it on his side either. So they don't know how that works. That's fucking great. But yeah, I've got the links for the report and the summary of the factual findings. Now, am I going to make the claim that Aaron Mate is you know, paid by the Russians? I don't know.
And now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Aaron Mate.
See this guy? huh, is this the Russian ambassador to the UN who invited Aaron Mate to testify at the UN on behalf of the cover-up, which he doesn't even represent correctly, by the way. So, before we touch on this much more at all, the person who founded the Gray Zone, hmm, Blumenthal is a regular contributor to Sputnik and RT, both Russian state media. Employed directly by the Russian government. Hmm. Can you call it a McCarthyite smear if he's literally being paid by the Russian government? RT is Russian state media. It is controlled and operated by the Russian government. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't call it a McCarthyite smear personally. But, that's just me. And when your boss is Max Blumenthal, and you are being invited by the Russian ambassador to speak at the UN on their behalf, when they kept, important thing, they kept the OPCW out of the site for like 2 weeks. Hey, what's up, Froge? So if you're keeping the investigators out of the area, and they still manage to find traces of chlorine after you keep them out, and also the Assad government wouldn't let them into certain areas, and they're like, oh, we don't have the authority to open locked apartments, but you have the authority to use chemical fucking weapons on them. Come on. Okay. So they were even blocked from gathering more evidence, and the evidence still points to, yeah, that this was a chlorine gas attack on innocent civilians in a city. You dropped it on apartments. Interesting fact. Now, a common argument against the fact that people could have died from chlorine gas is there was a hole in the roof and they had windows open. Well, chlorine gas is heavier than air. It sinks. If it sinks in open fields to get into trenches during World War One, it would sink in an apartment. And so people down on the ground, shell hits, dust and rubble everywhere, even on your floor, because, shit's fucked. And then people start choking. Is it the dust? Or is it this fucking chlorine gas? I think it's the chlorine gas. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I wasn't even showing this. You see this guy? This is the guy I was talking about when I said Russian ambassador. You see him? Permanent Russian ambassador to the UN, inviting Aaron Mate. And then, yeah, this is you can even see all the things. The echo clearly begins here. There's proof that this was clearly a chlorine-based chemical attack. What about the numerous reports of helicopter sightings? Now, this debate is funny as fuck because Hinkle doesn't answer, like, anything and dips and dodges and tries to pivot specifically to the things he has, like, prepared NPC dialogue tree statements on the conspiracy. He's constantly trying to move to this in the entire discussion, and Bosch is like, "No, we're trying to talk about this. We're trying to talk about this." And if you scroll through the comments of it a little bit, you can also find a lot of coat posting from Jackson Hinkle fans who were like, Bosch was constantly pivoting and blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, no, Bosch was on point, and your boy was pivoting constantly. Like Hinkle was, it, yeah, but you can get all the factual information here. Russian disinformation, evidence of cylinder erosion. Like, look at this. When they started, this is 28 days. There are no conditions other than fucking chlorine gas exposure and the effects that it has when it's exposed to fucking moisture that causes this. So, yeah, he literally presents what's in the report and then asks for the guy's alternate explanation. And the guy's like, well, if you read this report, it says that there's no way that this could have happened. And it's like, that's answered by this, and everybody else disagreed. The toxicologist said this. Yeah, I had some issues with his arguments, and I also had some issues with some of the comparisons and stuff he made at the end while he was mad. Wasn't one of his better optical performance, but I can understand why he got really frustrated with Hinkle. I really can. Because he's a weaselly little fuck. And you can also learn the stuff about this. How Aaron Mate got invited to testify at the UN by this guy, who's the literal Russian permanent ambassador to the UN. He's Russian government. And he's inviting Aaron Mate to peddle this conspiracy theory, which is very poorly constructed and utterly trashed by the releasing of additional emails and actually reading the fucking things that were leaked. Right, okay, so that's that. And then this is this. Oh, this is actually where that was. So we don't even need to go over that, but I can go back to here. Okay, where's the okay, under whose authority was this work conducted outside of a authority and dedicated highly secured network by someone who's not part of it? Now, oh, the person who wrote the report and leaked all of this stuff because they were mad, they had just finished their training to be able to go out and do field work, but they never got to go to Duma. They were stuck in Damascus. So they were mad because they had not all the information, they didn't have access to it, and they had a flawed report that actually tried to imply that the rebels had planted this for a false flag based on incomplete information. I mean, fuck. He relies on the Ian Henderson personal report, in which he did a very big brained thing and didn't measure the cylinder's dimensions appropriately. So it led him to the conclusion that he could not, in any possible way, have that it could lead him to the conclusion that the cylinder was dropped through the roof. These are from Ian Henderson. See, however, I understand the fact finding. Let's get to our last discussion. I was going to explore your thoughts, but however, I understand the afternoon was very busy at the moment. This was given the reason for nobody attending this morning's cocoon meeting. Okay, so it's Ian's emails complaining because he's not actually part of the fact finding team. This is something Hinkle fucking tries to die on, and they all do. They're like, he was part of the fact finding team. I have this fucking grainy document, even though he admits in the emails that are leaked here that he's not part of the fact finding team. Okay, yeah. So this is nothing. Yes, they reworded something to make it more neutral, even though they kept it a record of the original. Oh my lord. Email raising concerns. First draft interim report. Redacted interim report. You know what? Let's go to 115. Work our way back. 113. 111, because there's going to be a shitload of fucking. That's all pictures that I'm not about to be looking at. Demonetization. Fucking videos, blood samples, and hair samples. Which, by the way, the OPCW doesn't use any fucking, like, biometric samplings for testing and shit anymore. They don't take your, like, bodies and test those. Shit. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Information that's. Yeah, because they tested for sarin. They didn't look for fucking chlorine gas when they looked around here. First draft interim report, redacted one. Probably has all the like the information like redacted out of the blue. Yeah, see, there's only 34 pages. Twitter, Al Jazeera list, annexes, conclusions. Okay, so this is page 16. Shit, what was it? Page 28 on one of them had information that debunked their shit. Anyways, this shit was horribly debunked to the point where literally somebody said that all you have to do to debunk their bullshit is is to actually read their documents and then quoted something from one of the documents, and Aaron Mate was like, "Oh, really? Well, do you have a screenshot of this?" And they dumped a screenshot and cited a page and everything, and Aaron Mate blocked them for it because you can't once you actually go over the stuff, you can't bullshit him anymore. Like you can't you he can't bullshit you. It's it's over for him. So things that they have to answer is if they were planted, especially as a false flag by the rebels, then how the fuck did nobody notice them? How? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And there's all of the reports and everything. Oh yeah, another thing. Russia said that they would block the funding for the OPCW by the UN if they tried to be able to assign motive for use of chemical weapons attacks, which means Russia probably is using chemical weapons somewhere. Or they're just vouching for Syria, which is another thing that they like to do. So we've got all these documents too. So I'm just going to go ahead and just link dump for you there. You got the final report, the stuff, the debate, the fact-finding mission page, Syria, and the OPCW page where you can find fact-finding mission page, the joint mission page, the declaration assessment team. The joint investigative mechanism is not a link, but you can read what that is. It expired in November of 2017, so it's not even around anymore. Decision addressing the threat for chemical weapon use, investigation and identification team, progress reports, decisions, reports, updates, related official series documents, more related, declaration assessments team. They have a lot of information out there, don't they? Oh shit. You can just. They even got things progress on the Syria chemical weapons program. Like, come on. You cannot tell me at the fuck all that Syria didn't use chemical weapons and that there's no reason that they would in this instance because they've done it before. Oh, why would they? Why would he? So, um, I don't, I don't know. You go ahead and tell me. Uh, we've got some major issues with like the leaked report, though. You know, and so we can go over it. For one, it was really, really bad due to a number of things. Okay, sorry, I was a little distracted there. Let me go ahead and go over this. For one, all the leaks and stuff were coming from somebody who didn't actually touch on the ground. Now, some of the information that they got was from somebody who was on the ground, but that person had made a number of mistakes and was not part of the core fact finding mission. So they were a tangential element. The person who who leaked the stuff because they were mad that their information wasn't like put in as is because well, let's see, they wrote a draft report that wasn't accurate. It did not have all of the information available, and the other thing that the OPCW actually cited as the reason that they didn't put it all in there the way that it was is because it tried to put motive onto someone, which is something that Russia said they would block if they tried to do. Like they would block the funding for them if they tried to put blame on someone. And it tried to put blame on someone. Now, it wasn't the Syrian government, it was the rebels. But it still put blame on someone. So they blocked it because they're not allowed to do that. They're like, nope, we can't impugn either side if we're not allowed to do this and tell the source of who it is. So they didn't include all of his information. I don't think they included his information really at all. Uh, so he leaked all these documents because he's mad, and this conspiracy was concocted out of it. Let's face it. The guy just finished training, and he just got assigned to a pretty important mission. But he wasn't fully trained in like the field work side of things. So like he got put in Damascus, so he wasn't even in Duma. He didn't have full information. His report was not accurate. Other people within the OPCW and other independent experts disagreed with the findings of what was in his report or their report. I don't know. They're going by a pseudonym, Alex. How people cling on to this so hard when it's even actually addressed in the final report, I don't know. Like, all of this stuff is addressed. Bellingcat themselves have released the information. Like, Bellingcat came out and dropped the emails that were not put to WikiLinks. Whether those emails were sent or whether they were purposely left out, I don't know. But you can read all the correspondence back and forth, the reasons why that they didn't put in that report. You can read why that report was inaccurate. All sorts of shit. And my current viewer count keeps fluctuating back and forth. I'm assuming people are coming in and disliking the video and dipping out. But no, there is literally all of the problems raised by the whistleblower complaint are addressed already. So there's not really any foothold for this conspiracy the way that there normally would be, and yet people still buy into it. But why? Oh, let's see. Bellingcat has had some CIA connections before. They like worked with the CIA on something. Oh, okay. So Bashar al-Assad is working directly with Russia, who is not socialist. Let me remind you, Russia is not and has never been socialist. They've been known to gas people before. Like they've done chemical weapons attacks in Syria before. Like, come on. Uh, the people who are pushing the narrative that this whistleblower has like raised major concerns and all this shit, and that maybe the Syria blame to Syria was misguided and was a false flag thing. All of that is pushed by people who are paid by Russia, except for Jimmy Dore. I don't think he's paid directly by Russia. I think he's just a useful fucking idiot. So if you really think about it, the people who are pushing this conspiracy have stronger connections to more authoritarian dictatorial governments, more fascistic governments than Bellingcat. America's not good. Let's face it. Like, we kind of suck, but little known fact, America is actually more socially progressive than pretty much everywhere else on the planet. Especially when it comes to like trans people, LGBTQ rights overall. Like, America's just more friendly to that. It's true. Like we just have better human rights in that regard. Uh, we suck in a lot of other ways. Our fucking workers' rights are dog shit. I mean, we're technically still better than places that have like child slave labor, but when it comes to developed nations, we're dog shit. But that does not mean that we are as dictatorial and authoritarian as Putin is in Russia, Bashar al-Assad is in Syria, that fucking Xi Jinping is in China. Castro could be a dictator in Cuba. The information that I'm getting currently is showing yes, he kind of is, but maybe there can be some changes done by the Cuban people, not with U.S. imperialism. Hands off. Straight up. Hashtag hands off Cuba. Don't fucking touch it. But, I mean, there are dictators out there. America does not have a dictator. We have neoliberal corporatism, which is fucking dog shit, but it's not a dictator. North Korea also has a dictator, by the way. So does Iran. So does Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Hmm. Seem to be quite a few of those, and a lot of them the U.S. supports. But the point here is like just because somebody has worked with the CIA before does not mean that all their information is automatically State Department propaganda. And Bellingcat isn't the one who compiled the information. They may have corroborated and collaborated with the OPCW, but the OPCW is the one who had the fact-finding mission, and they went in and did like the work. They may have had some independent verifications and shit, but come on. Damn, my internet tanked for a second. Yeah, that shit tanked for a second. I don't know what the hell happened. But you just have to think. What are the alternate explanations? What what are they? What are they actually? Because I can't think of any. Ooh, what is this? Yeah, dope shit. Alright, the New American Left is putting out content. But you just have to think for just a little bit. Like seriously, what are the counter narratives to how did the chlorine gas canisters get there? Why is it that the other like independent toxicologists and the OPCW toxicologists that all studied it outside of a small group say that yes, this is conclusive with chlorine gas exposure, but they thought it was weird. Actually, no, it was the small group that said that it could be chlorine gas, but they acted weird in weird ways that didn't make any sense, and also that it shouldn't have set in that fast. It should have taken like longer than 4 hours, which is not true. And there's reasons for that. In higher concentrations, they said the stuff that happens to your body happens faster. And obviously, when you don't have good ventilation because you're trapped in an apartment building with a toxic gas that sinks because it's 2 times heavier than air, so it's not going to rise out of a fucking hole in the ceiling or float out of windows. No, it's just going to go to the lowest point possible. And since it's coming from up and going down, and when you're seeing a chlorine gas attack, you're supposed to go to the highest fucking point you can. But when you're at the bottom floor and it seeps in with dust and shit, and you have no idea what's going on, and you suddenly can't see or breathe, you're coughing up mucus and shit all over the place, you start dying, you are asphyxiating. What are you going to do? You're going to try and head towards open air. Yeah, but you can't fucking see, and you also can't breathe, and so you die, and you foam at the mouth, and you are laying there. You have, like, no real time. By the time you realize what's happening, 30 minutes in, you're you're dead. So you can't go high because the gas is coming from the fucking highest floor because it crashed in from the ceiling. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna try and go to the outside, but you can't. You can't see. You can't breathe. You can't hardly move. You're coughing too hard to do anything. What? Your city is also getting shelled, by the way. Like there's active bombs being dropped on your city outside of these two canisters. It's not just the helicopters with the canisters. There's other fucking bombs being dropped. So are you gonna run outside? Are you gonna run around outside when your city's getting bombed? Fuck no, you're gonna stay inside. You don't know that chlorine gas just got released. Yeah, 30 minutes inside because your city's getting bombed. You're not gonna notice until it's too fucking late and you die. Because high concentrations increase the effect, which means it sets in faster. Pulmonary edema. That's the effect you're looking for if you're wanting to Google it. It's pretty fucked up. So can we not believe in this conspiracy theory that the thing was either staged or whatever? Because they're like, oh yeah, no, the bombs or the canisters were manually placed. Well, how did nobody fucking notice it? That shit's pretty heavy in their specialized equipment, and their signs, all the signs indicate that it crashed through the roof. Uh, uh, no. The report said that the canister was too big to have fit through that hole. Which report? Are you talking about the Ian Henderson report, the draft report by Alex, or the actual report? The Ian Henderson report. Okay, so his personal documentation where he mismeasured the size of the fucking canister. He didn't get the dimensions right. So of course, when you get the dimensions wrong, you're not gonna know that the thing actually fits through the thing, and the signs are consistent, and the rubble's there. But the signs say that there was bleach everywhere. Well, yeah, it looks like after more than 2 weeks, if it seems like there's bleach everywhere, and including rubble in the street, rubble inside the fucking house, like corners and shit, spread all over the place in places where you would not fucking bleach, literally just out in the streets and whatnot, then uh, and somebody would have had to do it recently, like extraordinarily recently. No, it just shows that chlorine gas actually does seem like bleach, and there's also a bunch of other effects that showed up, including the oxidization I showed earlier. No, so there's an absolute fuckload of evidence that there was a chlorine gas attack, especially 2 weeks after, and there's still evidence of it in the rubble on the street. That that's a lot. So anyone trying to say that this is false, you can generally just disregard because they're not correct. There's a fuckload of issues with this leak report bullshit, the conspiracy theory around it. It's been thoroughly debunked, and anyone who you start laying out the evidence, they go, "Huh? You're just gonna cite Bellingcat and the final doctored report?" Well, it wasn't doctored; it's the official report, and also, what's wrong with the Bellingcat thing? Huh? What's wrong with Bellingcat? Hmm. They've worked with the CIA. They're like State Department agents. Who did you hear this conspiracy theory from? Aaron Mate. He works for. Actually, does Aaron Mate himself work for? Because I don't remember. He's a Canadian journalist. Does he work for Sputnik or is he just Oh, he was a former contributor to Democracy Now!, contributor to The Nation and Real Clear Politics. He hosts a show on the Gray Zone and writes for the Gray Zone. Okay. So he doesn't work for Russia directly. But he works for Max Blumenthal, who is a paid contributor to RT, which is Russian state media. They are run by the Russian government. So he's paid by the Russian government to spread what they want. And Sputnik, saying he's paid by Russians is not a false claim to Max Blumenthal. It is technically, in a sense, in a roundabout way, true for Aaron Mate if Max Blumenthal is getting paid by Sputnik and RT and using that money to be able to pay Aaron Mate for his work on Gray Zone, then it would, in a roundabout way, be true by third-hand proxy, but I don't think so. No. Max Blumenthal is paid by Russians, and Aaron Mate is not. But I do think that spreading this kind of conspiracy and being, oh, I can't say he doesn't work for Russians entirely. He did get invited to the UN by the fucking Russian permanent ambassador to the UN. So I'm just saying, look into the people, where they get their money from. You know where I get my money from? My job that I don't advertise on stream. Because it's a local fucking business that delivers food and not delivers food, but I deliver stuff to restaurants. I'm a restaurant supply delivery driver. Big truck, refrigerated, big box beef, to-go boxes, no produce, no dairy. Well, no milk. Not allowed to do milk. So that's what I do. That's where my money comes from. I don't have State Department money. I don't have Russian money. I don't have Syrian, Qatari, Vietnamese, Korean, Chinese. I don't have any money. That's the most accurate way I could have put that. I don't have any money. So, hopefully just going over, oh man, I managed to go over all of this in an hour and 26 minutes. I didn't read every single document here on stream. I read them yesterday, last night. But that's after I got off of Minecraft. I couldn't go to sleep, so I just pulled it all up so I could read it for myself. But if you just literally click this one YouTube link that I threw in, you can listen to Vosh go over and just decimate this entire conspiracy theory. Or, alternatively, you can still have this up. Yep. Boom. Boom. Go to the channel. Oh wait, is it the Vosh pit? Yep. This.
They had already done chemical weapons attacks.
Strikes Wikipedia section. Aftermath Wikipedia section. Viewing Gray Zone video, the types of claims that he expects. This is him at the UN Council. Russian state propaganda, interim OPCW report, page 28 of the draft. This right here.
One criterion used. Oh no no. Oh no 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 no. Oh, not like this. Oh no no no. One criterion used in forensic epidemiology to assess causation considers the possibility of an alternative explanation, or more specifically, the lack of one. The team considered alternative injury events, but stresses they are founded on few or no substantiated supportive facts. Ooh. The Nathan Galang, Eddie Liger Smith, few or no.
Okay, so let's finish this. Firstly, the team considered the possibility that some unknown highly toxic chemical, which so far has eluded detection, might have been co-present or released simultaneously with the putative chlorine-containing agent. The team has had no evidence, however, that this is the case, and to date, the prospect is merely speculative. Secondly, the possibility that the casualties observed in video footage and photos may not have died in situ or are the victims of a non-chemical event cannot be discounted, although the FFM team does not have sufficient evidence to reach and something conclusion on this possibility. Crucial shit. So he goes over the report. Goes over the Wikipedia section.
Systematic and widespread, but the mission was not tasked with assigning blame. The following year, the OPCW UN Joint Investigative Mechanism was established to identify the perpetrators of the chemical attacks in Syria.
And there's a list of chemical weapons use in Syria. So you can go over that. You can go over the links in chat. You can watch the debate between Jackson Hinkle and himself.
The remainder of this video, I should say up front that I am cisgender. For those of you who might be new to this sort of terminology, that means that my gender matches the one I was assigned at birth, so I'm not transgender.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
God damn it. Okay. The left is crushing his balls. Okay. Cuba protests legit of the CIA. From what I understand, they're pretty legit. I have a pretty solid source on Cuba. And the hope is that change can be brought to Cuba from within, and that also it doesn't weaken the country for American imperialism, because fuck that shit. So, keep your fucking hands off of America. Blackmail story. It's not fucking blackmail, you idiot. 36 minutes? And he's talking to Aaron Mate? Nah. Who the fuck is Cuba Regi? Oh, okay, Cuba. Yeah. No, there's actually people who are like, please, this is now our chance. Don't miss this golden opportunity to change Cuba. We need to overthrow. No. Fuck y'all. Keep your hands off of Cuba. Let them deal with their problems. That's their place. America doesn't need to go over there. America doesn't need to fuck off. Don't touch it. Go away.
Why are you okay with all those channels that upload clips of you? Why wouldn't I be? Most of the time, like 90% of the time, those channels upload clips that like aren't even uploaded to my channel. Like what are they taking from me? Sometimes they do just take a chunk of the uploaded video though. Yeah, well the only arrangement I have with them is that they can't upload anything less than a week old. So I have to have already had a chance to upload the segment, you know? But that's it. I mean, if I've already uploaded it and got views off it, who cares if they get views off it? You guys want to watch that. However, with the advent...
See, that's fucking based. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Just make sure I get some views off of it first, and then you can have that. Like, I don't care. Make money off of the, like, from my ability to your need. He's practicing it. This is true Marxism, okay? Because he's doing the work. He's making the content. And then these little clip channels come around, and they take segments and stuff, and they might cut a little bit and do a little bit of work to cut stuff together back and forth. And then their work is very minimal, and they get to profit off of Vosh's work. But Vosh profited off of his work as well, and he's voluntarily sharing the fruits of his labor from his ability to their need. True lefty praxis.
Of 2 channels, there is going to be far, far less content for them to upload that does not get uploaded from me directly now. So I will be making life harder for them.
I don't know who the fuck M60 is, and I can't trust people who think Jimmy. Let's see.
How the hell did you get 726 subs? By telling people I make $50 a week.
I called in earlier and I exposed your ass for the $3,500 a month.
I don't make $3,500 a month. I make $50. Yeah, I don't make $3,500 a week either. I make $50 a week.
What you make?
Again, just shut your fucking stupid face. You're such a stupid fucking liar. You're such a mediocrity.
Okay, so somebody else actually put in the labor, and this guy's saying that Jimmy Dore did this. Minutes? What?
Stop linking your own fucking clip in here, Austin Ox. We're not gonna look at that, okay? You have no power here. You hold no power here, sir.
Oh, quite the contrary, Mr. Biker. I didn't want to have to do this, but you refused to click on my link. You may have a lot of chatters, on Biker, and they miss a lot of things, but I see them all with my 2020 vegan eyes. Explain this.
I heard y'all wanted some AOC sympathy content.
All figured out. You need that.
Why is chat so dumb?
Why did you send this to me? I mean, not that I don't hate it, but...
Play that back, boys. 25% speed. Freeze frame that. Zoom enhance. Off-screen politics, huh? Now the whole chat knows you aren't quick enough to hide it.
Bill, what's up again? How are you?
Okay. Whatever. I don't give a shit about that. Yes, Masha's cisphobic. $3.5 trillion plan for this, and I mean, it could be more, but it's not, and we're not getting more. So You know, fuck us, right? This is why reformism doesn't actually work. You're not going to reform your way into socialism. You can make life better for people along the way while you prepare for, while you awaken class consciousness and prepare for the shit, but you're not actually going to get, no. Yeah. Do. Artificial difficulty. Na 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 na. No life shacks, my boy. Love listening to. I like listening to rap breakdown videos. And then Jeff Buckley. Yeah, nunchucks are kind of stupid. That's a good question. Can you?
This drum set sounds like crap. Ross, let me just tune this bass drum. This is the AC/DC album. Why do you think I brought you in?
Okay, so that's a gigantic bass drum for a 5-year-old's drum kit.
Hey everyone, it's Jared here, and I've seen so many of these toy drum sets show up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and I'm gonna bring in audio guru, that is Victor Guidera, and Victor is gonna help me take this from sounding like a piece of crap to something that you can actually record and play with real music. So Victor, why don't you come on in here? This drum pretty fire.
You know, for a tiny toy drum kit, that sounds fucking good, okay? I just clicked one video. Stop. No, I don't need more clip video channel. Oh god, this is gonna be some incel shit. I gotta know.
If when you're in a relationship, what are some of the techniques that you'll use to like nag the guy so we can look out for those as men?
I don't know. Just lower his self-esteem, I guess. Calling him names or something.
Because those are some of the things you've done with him in the past?
Yeah, I guess.
What are some of the mean things that you've said to your boyfriend, even though he's doing his best?
If they have like a dream or something, you know, like try to insult that to kind of like get them down, I guess.
Just tell him like you're nobody, your rap career is not going to work out. Right. What's the ultimate goal? Just to keep him in like a constant state of like depression?
I guess kind of like make them doubt themselves about like who they are as a person and like their own personalities and stuff like that, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's great. We'll watch out for that.
Wow. Of course Trump praises Hitler. Why are y'all why are you, like, freaking out about this? Oh yeah, Cornel West left Harvard because fuck them. They're fucking him over. Of course you got heckled at CPAC. I gotta know.
I'm going to show you a
Charlie.
picture of the most
Teach me, Charlie.
influential rapper to ever exist. A pioneer who unfortunately was ahead of his time. Not many people remember his work nor his influence. He not only changed rap music forever, but changed our fundamental understanding of musical theory. If you don't recognize this artist, you've not only lost my respect, but you have lost the right to call yourself a fan of music in the first place. This wonderful Boy Scout here who looks like he's leading a toast at a church ceremony is the genius behind the 2009 smash hit, Shoddy Wanna Fuck. Shoddy Wanna Fuck is what's considered a human milestone in evolution. It's up there in equal importance as the creation of the wheel and the light bulb. Shoddy Wanna Fuck released in 2009, and I've never been able to stop wiggling my finger to that song since. It is an outright masterpiece.
What the fuck? Okay, I literally, I need to know. Is it TOS? I don't know. I don't know if it's copyright.
Shawty wanna fuck. Shawty likes it rough and she's got a big oily butt. A big round wet McMuffin. Shawty's got sexual techniques and a big round oily butt. Goosebumps on her booty cheeks. I wanna bust a nut.
No doubt you listening have also busted a nut after hearing this chorus. In fact, science has confirmed that it is impossible for the human body to resist an involuntary ejaculation upon listening to this hook. This chorus is fucking...
Oh my god. That's all I needed. Wait, that's a new video? I hope that's still there.
Fire. And
it's new! Karens! Karens are a special thing, but get a full screen, okay?
Special Karen for
I know,
you
I'm
today.
totally
One of those
taking off
shiny
track.
Pokemon. This is the Victoria's Secret Karen.
Oh God, no, it's you, now you are, oh my God, oh my God, do you see this? Oh my God, I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now did you see her?
Victoria's Secret is a sacred store to me. It'll always hold a special place in my heart. When I was just a young boy, I would always scroll through the Victoria's Secret catalog that they'd send in everyone's mail as spam and just look at the lingerie. And it was responsible for some of my first erections. This was way before the internet was filled with all of the options to see titties that it is today.
God damn it, Charlie. Of course, but I mean, to be fair. I'm about as old as Charlie, so I know where he's at.
I can't even go on Twitter now without seeing someone's grandmother throwing her asshole inside out and announcing her OnlyFans. But back then you really had to go out of your way to find it, and Victoria's Secret was just always there for me. So to see this happen at a Victoria's Secret is truly heartbreaking and sad for me to watch. It's kind of like in the John Wick universe with the Continental, a place that you would consider a safe spot for everyone to go and enjoy, which has now been ruined because of this Karen here.
Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You should have thought about that before you did what you did.
She sounds like she's crying while inhaling helium. She quite literally sounds like a balloon animal being.
Yeah, she's panicking. She's freaking the fuck out. You know what you do is you go, could you please not record me? And that's it. But if you're already like doing some like ridiculous off the wall shit, nah, we can't abide by that. You're gonna get recorded.
Being deflated. So this Mickey Mouse Karen over here with her high-pitched squealing keeps reiterating that she didn't try to hit her, even though just moments ago we saw her try and hit her. So I don't exactly know what's going on here, what kind of galaxy brain scheme she's running, but she's not fooling me. I can see that she's a classically trained actor taking courses from Tommy Wiseau with the whole "I did not hit her, I did not."
I didn't try to hit you. Please don't record me. Don't record me. Y'all had to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry.
If you only heard the audio here with no video, you would probably think it was an episode of The Muppets with the way this lady's carrying on her crying antics here. So the context here, moaning Myrtle, who keeps crying, initially shoved this lady out of the way for some panties, so the lady said, "Excuse me," and then she just, all hell broke loose. All of a sudden, the fucking chains were...
Oh yeah, you can't ever tell a Karen, "Excuse me," because they will lose it. You also you really can't say much to a Karen, otherwise they'll fucking lose it, so...
were lifted, she was free to just let out the demon, so she started screaming and yelling, calling for security, so then the lady started filming, and now that's where we're coming in here. This is 4-part video here, it's a very long anime.
No, I want you to call security. Thank you. I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? Yeah,
Yeah, if you don't want her filming you, why not just leave? Like, you can absolutely just walk out. You're not being held prisoner there. You're not fucking trapped there by a force field or some kind of ancient spell. You can just...
No. What you don't understand is the camera being on her in and of itself paralyzes her. All she can do is wail at that point. She can't move. She can't do anything. Cameras, mortal enemy. Don't know why.
Get up and leave. And then she wouldn't be able to keep recording you. You know, it's not like she's torturing you with a camera in your face, laughing at you with nothing that you can do, like a David Dobrik video. You can just leave. You're making this scene. And I can totally understand why this lady's filming. It's for her own protection. In a case like this where it's a he said, she said situation, and she's threatening to call the cops and security, it's best to have a video to prove your innocence than to just go back and forth with different conflicting stories. So I totally understand why people bring out their phones in confrontations like this. I think it's the right thing to do. She's not trying to fight her. It's not like the lady filming has like a baton behind her that she's like threatening to beat her with or something. You know, she's just filming because when the cops do inevitably come, she will have evidence to prove that she's done nothing wrong.
you scaring me. Like you gotta go postal.
Why is she just... Just leave?
No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
Not gonna lie, this part actually infuriated me that the asshole at the register targets the lady filming and...
Yeah, right? Like, why don't you just walk away? Fuck you. What if the lady who's fucking freaking out? Move. Leave. Lady's got her phone out for a fucking reason. She even said it. She's like, I'm getting scared. Like, I don't blame you.
Instead of the screeching, squealing banshee that's rolling around on the floor like it's a fucking fire drill, just absolutely losing her mind, crying a river over nothing. You know, the person actually making the scene, instead of saying, "Hey, why don't you leave?" she instead talks to the lady who's filming and says, "Get the fuck out." Why?
Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go. This is crazy.
Wow.
This was the slowest and most dramatic death I've ever seen from Theater Club. She really wanted to faint, but she wasn't ready to commit to it, so instead she does a little slow, controlled fall, just gently lowering herself down and even going so far as to make a nice little pillow with her purse, just to ensure that under no circumstances would she actually be injured. But that doesn't really help sell the idea that you just fainted, unfortunately. Of course, you all know that I'm a world-renowned actor, most famous for my role in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and more recently as Officer Greg in a horror movie, so I can recognize quality acting when I see it. And this is just dog shit acting right here. Like, if James Cameron hit me up tomorrow, he calls me up, he says, "Charlie, big man, I'm gonna need you to be in the new Avatar movie. It's doomed for failure without you, so please just come on down to the set tomorrow. We have a death scene for you to film." And I show up on set and I pull one of these. He's putting his dick in my face and telling me I'm never working in Hollywood again.
Charlie, why do you phrase things the way you do? God. I guess this is why people watch him. This is why I watch him. Put his dick in my face and tell me I'm never working in Hollywood again.
Because it's not good acting. You see, if she really wanted to sell the idea that she fainted or passed out, she should have really committed, you know? Maybe like a big squeal, ah, and then like dive backwards and like land on her back. Maybe like move her arms around a little bit, like kind of like a turtle on its shell. Like then, you know, maybe we'd have different conversation right now. But this right here, terrible.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, because...
Did you have two yoga mats?
No, I had one. We was trying to just find a price check for one of them. Just one I had.
Her plan did not work. Nobody seemed to care about this. I think she was expecting people to be like panicking, like, "Oh my god, she fucking died. We need an ambulance here ASAP and bring in everyone. We need the National Guard. Holy fuck, this is extreme." But instead, everyone ignored her and just went about their day. The lady filming even turns off the camera thinking that this is where it ends. She'll just lay there.
She laughed because it's funny. That shit was funny. I'm not even gonna lie.
For the rest of her life, playing dead. I don't know. But unfortunately, this isn't where it ends. So she stopped filming for a moment. And then this lady just took that as a moment to go fucking wild. So she turned back on the camera. And that takes us to part 2.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
They must be trying to dial security from a mall in a different state because it's been 45 minutes of them just saying security's on their way. I don't know what's gone awry there in that procedure. This response time is abominable. They must just be shooting up heroin in the bathroom or something and forgot. Because it's just not coming. I'm starting to believe that the security at this mall is like the Tooth Fairy. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah. This crazy lady. In case she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You look at this. Get away from me! Oh, y'all better get this lady! Get away from me! You're gonna get this! Get security! Get the water! Get security! Look at this!
Okay, at this point, you're perfectly justified beating her ass, I think. Like, she is chasing you down, screaming, "Get away from me, get away from me." She's running at you. At that point, I think you can punch her.
Yes, can y'all get her away from me? Get her away!
The non-aggression principle would, I mean, she's breaking it because she's aggressing. She's running at this woman, screaming, "Get away from me, get her away from me, get away from me." Like, how the fuck is she supposed to get away from you if you keep fucking chasing her?
Pretty fucking stupid plan here, shouting "get away from me" while actively chasing her around like it's a game of tag at the local playground. Get away from me! Why are you chasing me? Stop it! Get back here so you can get away from me!
Get her away from me! No, I got to just with.
This is the most entitled shit, too. Like, you need to get this customer out of your store away from me because she's recording because I started making a scene involving her and she's recording for her own safety. You need to get her away from me. You need to get her away from me, the blonde white woman throwing a fit. No, maybe we just need to remove you because you're the issue.
Attack myself. She's trying to attack me. No, no, no.
Yeah, so this woman who's basically just a goofy cartoon character continues to scream some more, and it just sounds like stock horror sound effects. I'll go ahead and spare you more of her squealing, so I'll just go ahead and fill you in on the lore from here. After driving cross-country, mall security finally arrives to the scene, only to say that there's nothing that they can, nor anything they want to do, because the lady moved. She went outside of the store, because real cops arrived, so she was talking to them. Real cops take both of their statements. Of course, our protagonist here has a video to back up her side of things, whereas the other woman is just once again going through some kind of delusional rant about how, like, the video camera's emitting harmful 5G radiation that's targeting her and bringing her down or something. I don't know. I couldn't really hear what she was saying. But yeah, they basically just give their sides of the story, and then the cops just kind of separate them, and that's it. Not the most satisfying of conclusions, but that's where it ends. Anyway, another pretty wild Karen. That's about it. See ya.
Makes sense. Okay. Bosch is back from vacation, but there's a lot of reasons Bosch gets hate. Most of them fucked up. As in, they're not accurate or true. So, we got that. We are 1 minute away from being at the 2-hour mark, which will be officially the longest I've sat at the beginning of a stream without a break. Oh yeah, this right here.
Lola Bunny has been redesigned. This is not a drill. I've seen meltdown upon meltdown right now. We're going into fucking DEFCON alert. Lola Bunny in Space
Fucking true. They took away her titties.
Jam 2.
Come on, guys, that's something to get super outraged about. Like, super outraged about. So outraged.
Has been changed. They wanted to avoid Lola Bunny being as sexual as she was in the 1996 movie with Michael Jordan, so in Space Jam 2, they've toned
Why do you think there's so many people who are furries these days?
it down.
I'm not blaming Space Jam, and for real, that is a joke. Because, you know, Lola Bunny with the bunny titties and booty and hips and the sexualized eyes and everything, the way that they animated her was meant to be sexualized. So, that's why people like bunny girls.
So that way,
that and Playboy with the Playboy bunny. A whole bunch of other like shit involving animals and people and being sexy. It's like it's a thing that people do, and then they get a lot of hate for it.
People don't associate erections with Lola Bunny. Lola Bunny from Space Jam is iconic. Basically the genesis of all young men's first boners. She was like the tutorial boss of puberty. Kids would watch the Space Jam movie, see Lola Bunny, and get that weird feeling in their pants and then wonder what the fuck was going on. Lola Bunny is the #1 cartoon character most people think of when they think of hot cartoons or some shit like that. Not even furries, just like a general audience, since Space Jam was so big. And this is confirmed on Hive Mind, the game show Ludwig and I do on Twitch. This question actually came up. What cartoon character did everyone think was hot? Lola Bunny was the #1 answer by a fucking landslide. It wasn't even close. So, obviously, I want to talk about the Lola Bunny redesign. And my heart breaks for all of those Lola Bunny fanatics that have never stopped jerking their meat to Lola Bunny. Out there with the Lola Bunny collections, this is a... So, hey.
Holy shit. And yeah, that's the redesign. Hey. Boobs, sexualized eyes, although they kind of tried to keep the eyes, but she's like slendered down. The hips, the legs, she would walk with the suede hips and everything, so they toned it down. Not nearly as sexualized. That's all you need. He's just satirizing the outrage about it, which, you know, yeah. many people watching right now. Why? Okay, well, shit. Oh shit, we're over the 2-hour mark, aren't we? Oh yeah, 2 hours and 3 minutes. So if we wanted to, we could go over this entire document. But I have, and I've linked it in chat. Okay? Yeah. You don't even really, like, the general, like, the final conclusions tell you generally what you need to know. Okay? It is 8:15. There is no way they're going to be on there, but I want to see if I can get this to work. I would love to be able to play this game. Hey! It wouldn't update yesterday. I couldn't figure out why. It wouldn't do anything. Oh god, that's why. I was at 2.012. And it needs to get to 4.0. Like, jeez, I've got a lot of updates to go through. That's fine. That's fine. We can do that. We're going to go through these updates. And while that happens, I'm going to take myself a break. I don't even need the headphones right now because I don't need anything for audio anymore until this game updates. So while that happens, I highly encourage you to watch the Vosh versus Jackson Hinkle debate. Go over to the OPCW report. Look at the fact-finding mission. Look at the media center for the Syrian OPCW page. Like it's all relevant. Okay. So I will be right back in a very short period.
Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare!
I always respect people who enter into the arena. You're gonna do anything you can to avoid the debate. Come on, man. No idea that you were taking your show off early last time. I had no idea this was going to happen.
Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare!
I always respect people who enter into the arena.
Seems that even Crowder had gotten some cold feet, so I don't think he's coming.
Why is that?
I would love to ask him myself. He's not even answering anymore.
Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare. 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 I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy.
Alright. This is the last update. Boom. Never mind, there's updates here that I gotta do. Alright, there we go. I get to try this thing out. That was weird. Okay, well I'm not going to be able to see chat while I play this game because it does weird stuff. You can't see it, but... Captain of their own ships. That's the reason I decided to turn it up. Let's go for it. Whoa, this is the lowest. Play Moss. But it needs to attack the... Yeah! In England, I guess. Oh. Wow. Wait. What's my question? Currently, no. Okay. Where do I get the boat? Do I take the boat? Here. How do I go? the hell do I steer my ship? I've never done this before. I want to set sail. 20 days worth of stuff. What the hell? You click the sail icon from the ship to begin to move. You double click the surface of the sea while we enter or lower the ship to begin to move as well. Change direction of your ship. Double click towards the direction when you see you wish to cross. Look at the clicking and choose the city and click on the city. Once your ship begins to move, all the sails will be automatically activated and the sail will be controlled automatically. Yeah, that's a big ship. I want to be a pirate. Don't listen to me. Fuck y'all. How do I even know what's correct? That long to get there. I'll be interested in uncharted waters online. I am an explorer. So, if you're just tuning in, this game is called Uncharted Waters Online, and I really like the idea of like sailing and boats, and so that's kind of where I'm at, you know, as far as that goes. Harbor, I want to check this place out. I have 50,075, so it's gonna only cost 2,500, but I need the ship. What am I missing? Like everything, figurehead, I don't have anything for it. We're good. That end. I'm good. What's going on? Rent it in. Wow. No real dialogue, huh? Interesting. That's all you got to say, is it? Supervisor. Keeper, what you got? Rare trade goods? That's not what you teach you about. What a mistake. Rare trade goods. For trade goods that are currently in short supply and are valued extremely high around the world, though normally these are trade goods that are quite common due to reasons such as epidemics and weather conditions. The demand for these products may increase temporarily. That's why you can sell those trade goods at the market at a price that is multiple times greater than its usual price. However, these prices will change after a certain period of time. So timing is key if you wish to sell at a high price. Okay, so it's supply and demand economics that they're instilling in here, which is market stuff. Okay. But all you got is nothing. What you got, maiden? Okay, so is there any way out of here? Or is this it? Is the pub available for me to go into? Yeah. I'm going to the tavern. Fuck yeah, get drunk. You just met me. How do you trust me? What the fuck? I have to know. How? How? Well, Mina was calling it the Book of Wisdom. This was originally one of her personal collections, but she forgot it when she was resting here. At first, there was nothing written on it, and we couldn't tell what the book was about, so we left it around here. Of course, with the plan to give it back to Mina, to give it back to Mina in return. Then one day something happened. I was getting rid of the place, and the whole book died. I was so shocked, I closed the book shut. Ever since then, this book was left alone in the storage room. I guess there's some special mechanism to it. I thought to myself, there must be something important for me. Sometime Mina came back here, and I explained what happened to this book to her, and she was quite surprised. She was lost in thought for a while, and then asked me to give the book to a voyager I could trust. And that trustworthy voyager is you, based on my judgment, at least. What judgment? I just wandered into your town and walked into your bar, and that's it. That's all I've done. How am I trustworthy? What world do you live in? Legacy. I'm not sure what this legacy is about. Okay, so this is just force. Okay, first bar you go into, I bet. If I'd have gone to any of the towns and gone into the tavern, barkeep here would go on this spiel. And guess what? I don't know him.
You will likely make many discoveries. These discoveries, basically knowledge, might react with the power that the book has. I just met you, but I trust you with this very important thing. I'm gonna give you part of my entire life story, and
like, bro. Once you gain realization, then your real adventure with that book begins. Okay. Discover. I don't know the details myself, but there's one information. There's one information, guys. But there's one information that Mina shared with me. Try doing research on the giant structures in Egypt. You should be able to receive the request related to those structures through the guild. That should give you your first realization. Wait, you want to know about the other realizations too? If you haven't noticed, I'm not Mina or this book spirit. The rest of that's you. Okay, well then. How do I perform research? That might be important. Sorry, I don't know much myself, but Mina said that after you gain your first realization, then collect the relative pieces of information. For those pieces of information, I'm not sure about that. He said something about legacy clues or something, but I didn't understand. Well, considering this book, once you gain your first realization, then maybe the book will tell you what to do next. Be a pirate. Okay. I'll just... Alright, this is what I can tell you. It's up to you whether you take up the strange investigation or not. The book's all yours, duty. Please, next time I see you mean it, be sure to tell a kid the book to you. See? Hey, wait, just a second. The book's shining. What? You hear a voice in the book? No, I don't hear anything. That reminds me. I say minutes this is the book will speak. Looks like you're link my face to this book. Well then, I don't know what's going on, but good luck. No, you just handed me a book. I walked into a bar, and this motherfucker over here goes, do you know Mina? Hey, are you an adventurer? Yeah. Do you know Mina? No. Well, I'm going to entrust you with this very important book that she left here for me to give to an adventurer I trust with my life. I don't know this person. This barkeep lost it somewhere. I don't know. Either that or he just doesn't want to keep this book and it's actually a big prank. Okay. There's something else I need to do. I'm kind of digging the background music, but it is a little excessive. So, merchant. You. Boy, sailor. Oh. 200 stone. Oh, I just can't gather anymore. Dungeon of Portugal. Is that the trick? Sorry, merchant. I guess I don't have the constitution. Alright, I got more sailors. Yeah, go. Leave. Yeah, I'm drunk as fuck. You. I need to go to Egypt. I don't know where. What direction am I facing? Provisions. 10 days worth. Food. Sale. What is that? That. Okay, so from the Netherlands. God, you have to know the fucking world. North, so I need to go. I'm not supposed to use any of this. No. head towards Africa. I think that's me right here. Okay. And that's all I can do, but that's fine. I don't mind having a little bit smaller. I can actually see everything. So this right here is auto cell stuff. Yeah. Go that way, please. This way. What the fuck am I supposed to use a deck brush as a question? Oh, let's say you drop anchor. God. We're dead. I think my character is gonna die. Doesn't matter if I die. Shit. Fuck do I fail? This is bad. Yeah. What? My ship is crippled. What do you mean my ship doesn't need repair? Okay. Is every town laid out this way? Because if it is, I'm going to be a little disappointed. What you got? Yep, not that much. Comparatively. I'm concerned with doing what I want. I lost the sailor. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on here, because that's a market guy, that's a, yeah. Wait, there is stuff over here. Market keeper, shopkeep. Don't have 9 items in my inventory in any context. And I'm not allowed to go in any of the other buildings. Yep. What a thought! Okay, so that is where I just left. Okay. That's north, that's south. I need to go. Does anybody else play this game? If I can get a fucking pirate fleet going, that'd be sick. I'm trying to open up more than that. I would like to be able to stay here. But as it sits right now, I don't know. I'm just kind of sailing, checking out what's going on in the entire world, seeing what it's like. Wow. Let's get going on. That's right. I wish I had a party for this. I just got it to work, so I'm pretty happy about it. Be the admiral fucking fleet. Item. Ambush. I can't take a direct confrontation with them. I think I'm faster than them. I am digging this banger fucking background music though. Do you hear that shit? I survived. Heading this direction. still okay. I have food enough for 11 days, which means I can make it to the next town, repair my ship. Oh, it's not even hardly. Privateers, legalize pirates. My old computer really could not handle this. It was a little disappointing, honestly. One unit. Not enough water. The food that I forgot to really get. Okay, thanks. We can anchor. Y'all can rest for a bit. I forget you can just drop anchor. We sailed for days. Were you fatigued? I know. Hey. We're just kidding. Provisions. Food. That's stock amount. I can check things out here. See, I get discovery points and stuff. When my ship's durability is damaged, my sailors are fatigued. Repair my ship. Yo, there's a factory. I can just go into the... Yo, is this an actual city? They don't say anything. Wow. Wait, what? When a nation's technology reaches a certain level, industrial revolution may occur in a specific city within each nation. You will then be able to perform production at a factory using advanced technologies. Nation's technological capacity can be increased by various activities of voyagers who belong to that nation. When an industrial revolution occurs while the nation's technological capacity is high, the number of items, goods you can produce in the factory will increase. On the other hand, when the development of technology is stagnated, you will not be able to use the factory as a result of the decline in the industry. I fuck everything up. Okay, seems like I can't do anything to fuck this up at all. Like a true leftist would. These capitalist swine. I can only carry one. What's up there? Maybe we should just anchor right outside of the city. We just leave anchor right outside the city. I don't know how to rest my sailors up. How do I get my soldiers to not be fatigued? By soldiers, I mean sailors. Oh, you literally just sit out in the ocean. Well, okay. This is fairly realistic in that regard. That's kind of cool. You just literally sit here. And eventually your fatigued workers will do what's needed, I guess. So I don't want my workers, my sailors, because they're not really workers. They're my comrades, my nakama. There we go. My nakama need to be rested. So I will wait, okay? In the meantime, what's going on? News trending. Nothing trending for me. Wait, people are trying to hack into other people's Twitters? Yo. Not cool. that account got brigaded by Nazis after I argued with Nazis. Okay, yeah, that was me. Okay, nobody's trying to hack into my Twitter. But I don't have thousands of fucking followers. Nobody's got fatigue, let's go. Yo. I'm good to sail for like 30 days. Not really, for like 15 days. 14 days worth of food, 21 days worth of 30 days worth, or 30 days, and 20 days. Yeah, okay, about 20 days. If I change myself right, I will pass just by this tip of whichever deal this is. I'm headed to the north. Well, I'm headed around so that I can get south. Yeah, 'cause if I dip south from here, I should be headed towards Africa at that point. If my navigation skills correct here. But I'm rest up, we're actually just gonna go sleeping through the night. I wonder if the sailor's gonna be alright. When the common needs to rest. Takes a little while for it to pop up, you know? We're all gonna be a little bit tired, I guess. Fuck you. By the time we get there, we're gonna be tired. Every comrade, pull your weight. Let's go. I'm down there sailing. I don't know how the hell I got 50 racks. Starting to get dark again. Well, once it starts getting dark again, we'll drop anchor. Hey, this. Okay. We can rest up. What we don't want is everybody to be fatigued, you know? But it is daytime. We need to get a move on. Deployed. Back. Alright, give up. Fuck out here. Headed down to the south, where it needs to be. Whap. Got 12 days worth of food left. Gotta go back. Or forget. Got 3 sailors that are fatigued. France and a fire. How the fuck do I deal with a fire? How am I supposed to deal with this? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, let me just turn it around, please. How do I do this? Oh my god. How the fuck are you even supposed to do this? Oh, so just so competitive. And I'm surveying. I do not have enough raw materials for the repairs. What do you mean? Sail through the night to try and find a place. I've had to sail through the night to try and find a place. This looks nice and well to me. Where am I? You know, it's not me. Okay, so La Havre, Nantes, Brazil. Could be any of those. Where the fuck am I? Have literal latitude and longitude. Nonsense. Alright, so we go here. And we deal with the consequences of our actions. Provisions. Wait. 10 of those. Okay, that's all fucking useless. Another person? Yeah. Big sailor. Go for that one. I'm already on a hunt. Hey, this place actually has, you know, places to fucking go. Let's see what you got. A bunch of stuff that I don't actually need. Fishing gear, though. Fine, equip. 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 Ah, totally worth. They have some really sweet stuff here. Oh my. I need both. Seems like it's you can play one-handed if you feel like it. It actively encourages it. So, all the provisions, food. Where? Okay, so it just puts you. Yeah, I got it. Puts you in the town square. Duh. You know what I have to do? So much. I have spent a bunch of money so far. I'm essentially gonna have to sit here until I have space in my cargo. And also, I can't nobody. Howard and Harald is dead. Okay. Interesting point. Counter argument. Oh. Who is Harald? Jesus. I gotta wait until my volume is down, then I can buy more food. But I need to get water down so I can get way more food. I don't have enough. This game right here. What I think I'm gonna do is actually setting. Log out. Yes. Logging out in 15 seconds. That's because I want to do something different. Can I not close this game? Oh. Okay. That's fair. Let's boot this up, and I will be back. You know, I said I'll be back, but actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream for the night. 3.5 hours is perfectly long enough. So, yeah, I hope y'all have a great night, and take care. If you enjoyed, you know, do the normal thing with the likes and the subscribes and all that. Let me go ahead and do this. Boom. And that should be good. Yeah, y'all have a great night. I can do polls and stuff. Hooray.